Hello, everybody. Hi, Alan. Thank you for the introduction. Really excited to be here presenting at the Web3 Summit. And I'm excited to talk about the Tardigrade developer platform today, including some of the early use cases and wins that we've seen in enabling developers building on the decentralized cloud. So I'll start with some background on Storj Labs and what our mission is as a company. Our goal as a company is to build the world's largest and most secure, performant, and resilient cloud storage service without owning or operating a data center. What that really means is that we enable anybody to be the cloud by monetizing their excess hard drive capacity for both storage and bandwidth. So if anybody has any extra space, storage is a way to monetize that. Tardigrade is a developer tool that's built on top of the Storj network that enables developers to easily store, retrieve, and access data, as well as share it on the Storj network. We'll get into kind of what that is here in just a second. Let's skip ahead. So how does Tardigrade work? On Tardigrade, all data is encrypted client-side. It's then segmented or broken into pieces. Each of those pieces are erasure coded, which means that they're broken up, in our case, into 80 pieces, of which any 30 of the 80 pieces are needed to reconstitute the file. What that means is that you need 51 plus nodes that have different owners, different internet service providers that are different geographic parts of the world to go to offline simultaneously. Part of what we measure is statistical uncorrelation. So we look for differences in those areas to optimize the distribution of the data on the network. So that's kind of how data gets uploaded and stored. For kind of a more advanced overview here, when you upload a file, you basically ping a satellite. The satellite tells you where to upload that file. The file's encrypted, erasure coded, and streamed in parallel to all of those nodes. When you retrieve it, you get a receipt of where those pieces are currently held, and you stream it in parallel. What's really exciting about this process is that there's no kind of cadenlia discover process. Things are really quick, and we've actually seen an increase in recovery time globally for large data sets versus like single region AWS availability zones. And so that's something that we're pretty excited to talk about and share. Today, I'm going to keep the presentation really simple. I kind of, in the vein of kind of focusing on developers, I wanted to talk about how you can upgrade your stack using the Tardigrade network today. And all of these integrations are available in our documentation at documentation.tardigrade.io. So first off, we have an integration that enables you to back up any of your Maria, MySQL, InfluxDB time series, or MongoDB document DB databases. And so what's really interesting is with Tardigrade, your backups are globally distributed, they're more resilient, they're more secure, and really easy to kind of integrate with kind of existing S3 protocol backups. And by doing so, you can reduce your cloud storage bill in half. And so really important note is that Tardigrade is half the price of kind of the leading cloud service providers like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft on both storage and bandwidth. And so for developers, it's easy to use, it's S3 compatible, and just by switching to the decentralized cloud, not only do you get the benefits of resiliency, security, and global performance, but you're able to cut your cloud storage bill in half or even more. And so one of the kind of recent announcements that I wanted to touch on was a really cool integration into MongoDB's Ops Manager. And so there's a great blog post on MongoDB's website that details basically how to use this integration. But essentially this integration enables you to schedule MongoDB backups and migrations easily with the decentralized cloud. And so if you're using MongoDB and you're looking to kind of upgrade your disaster prevention and migration strategy, this is a really great integration that we're really excited to partner directly with MongoDB around. We also recently launched a Kubernetes backup tool using Valero, which is a VMware sponsored open source project. And so obviously, Kubernetes powers majority of kind of modern applications. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to create kind of a universal plane for backing up your Kubernetes data that's uncorrelated with Google Cloud, Amazon, or Microsoft. And so what that means is if you're running, say, in GCP today, and you back up to the decentralized cloud, you can really quickly rehydrate all of your Kubernetes object data as well as persistent volumes and bring that cluster back to life in any other compute environment, whether that might be a cloud or a private compute environment, anywhere in the world at the snap of a finger. And so we're really excited to kind of build out a kind of a better Kubernetes strategy that enables enterprises to be more secure from a multi-cloud architecture perspective without relying on a single provider, which as kind of decentralized enthusiasts, we all know what the risk of relying on a single provider is. We also launched a native integration with Arclone. Arclone is an extremely popular developer tool that enables you to map file systems and sync file systems between cloud storage services. And so Arclone recently launched a native upstream pull request, which included Tardigrade as an option for object storage. And so what this means is that for system admins that are leveraging large data sets across multiple storage environments, Arclone is a really great tool for synchronization. So you can easily migrate, and kind of the how-to there is located on our website. A lot of open source applications actually leverage Arclone today, including Restic. Restic is a Go program that dedupes and schedules backups, making backups really easy from kind of a sysadmin perspective. And obviously all the benefits of Tardigrade in the decentralized cloud get kind of looped into an easy kind of enterprise-friendly developer tool. We also have a direct integration with Duplicati, an open source GUI-based backup tool. And so if you're maybe not as sophisticated with the command line, Duplicati makes it really easy to do system-wide backups of your disks across virtual machines or any kind of live OS. Duplicati compresses data and makes kind of the overall volume of data that you're storing less. So it can even further your savings on backups for data recovery and disaster prevention. Another really key partnership announcement recently that was featured in Computer Weekly as well as a number of other outlets, was a native application that we launched with QNAP. This application enables you to easily back up your QNAP NAS to the decentralized cloud. And so all of your personal videos, movies, et cetera, are securely backed up to Tardigrade. But what's really notable is that this actually gives you the ability to also monetize your access capacity. And so with a simple one-click application that anybody can download, you can both back up your entire network attached storage array to the decentralized cloud, as well as monetize your excess capacity, which kind of brings both the supply and the demand into kind of one unified experience. So Tardigrade as a platform is really built by developers for developers. And so when we're looking for partners, we obviously kind of have a strategy that's been pretty widely covered around open source monetization, and a lot of our open source partners partake in this. And so if you're developing open source software that needs to store data on behalf of users, and you store that data on Tardigrade instead of a centralized cloud provider, we have a program that enables us to basically attribute the amount of volume via a connector, and then directly monetize you for any data that you bring to the decentralized cloud as an open source developer. We think that this is a really kind of disruptive new open source monetization strategy that exists kind of outside of the realm of the open core model or the OEM bundling model or something like advertising. And so we're really excited to see the decentralized cloud kind of marry the open source ecosystem and develop new pathways for open source monetization. And so just kind of moving forward about the developer experience, Tardigrade's intuitive, it's easy, it's familiar, and so you don't have to download, and kind of become familiar with the new file system or a new way of storing data. Everything's kind of familiar. If you're a developer using other platforms, you get the benefits in terms of economics, performance, and privacy around the decentralized cloud. And so you can create an account, generate an API key in 3 clicks, and you're on your way. We've dropped in S3 compatibilities we touched on in the past, and so if you're using even the Amazon CLI, you can basically reconfigure the Amazon CLI to talk to the decentralized cloud, which is always kind of a fun trick and a fun demo. But the S3 compatibility feature is something that we think really differentiates us from competitors and makes this really easy to use from a developer standpoint. So I wanted to kind of keep the presentation quick today. Really what I want to do is spark interest in kind of the developers here around Tardigrade and around some of our enterprise validation and recent wins. We offer a service level agreement that's on par with AWS with the durability and the availability of data through Tardigrade, through that brand. And so if you're interested in developing on the platform, please reach out, especially as the world kind of migrates to a remote first type of environment, we're happy to kind of support you. We think that the distributed cloud is purpose built for the distributed workforce, and we're excited to work with companies that want to help realize our vision of the decentralized cloud. So thanks again, Alan. Thanks again, NKN. And again, feel free to check out tardigrade.io and learn how you can store data on the decentralized cloud today.